Fantastic. I just thought I would, I've just been asked to recap really some of the things from today and suggest some practical ways forward. But we've had such a rich time, haven't we? I think a really great combination of the foundation of the statistics as well as some of the practical things that people are doing and some big picture things as well. And Annabelle at the beginning said one of the aims of today was to raise awareness, but also to highlight some solutions. And I think we've had both of those things in abundance this afternoon. We began looking at the uniqueness of Christian marriage. Harry then gave us some really great stats looking at how we can give our young people in particular the best chance of relationships that last a lifetime. And if you haven't come across that bit of theory about sliding, deciding and inertia, I really recommend you have a look at Scott Stanley on that. It's really worth looking at. Carl, some wonderfully inspiring stories about men and the church, the story of reconciliation, the need to have the gospel at the heart of what we do. Jason with the message to young people about how to build healthy relationships, and his quote that I wrote down, great discipleship reimagines intimacy in the light of the great commandment. That was a really good thing. David, and those sobering statistics really on singleness in the churches and how single people often haven't been welcomed into our church communities. And I think if there was one thing that I'm taking away from that is a real call to action for us as church communities to be on the front foot, much more intentional about how we welcome single people, as well as supporting families. And then Nikki and Scylla with a great presentation about the relationships course, which I think is really going to make a difference to the whole culture of dating and going out. And for all of those things, those are big issues. But I think one of the themes that struck me was they are big issues that affect individuals. So it's not just, we're not just talking theory here, we're talking about issues that affect families, issues that affect individuals, issues that affect us as community. And looking at some of the solutions, we had a pastor from Uganda who came to visit us. We were looking after him for the day on Sunday, and he showed me a photograph, and I was just reminded of it now. We were sitting here. It was he's wanting to build an education centre, and he had the vision for it, and he had managed to get hold of this piece of land. It was a dry and arid field, but it was a piece of land, and he got all these people together to build bricks, and they built to form bricks. He made these bricks out of clay, and the height of this pile of bricks, it must have been about 3 or 4 double-decker buses, enormous pile of bricks. They were then going to fire, and then together they were going to build this education centre. And today I was just thinking, if each of us take away one idea really from what we've heard and put it into practice, the Bible's got so much to say about us working together and about us being part of God's building. Each of us represent, and the communities that we work in represent those bricks, if you like. And we've been presented with the vision today and the need to take action. And we don't want to stay that pile of bricks. We want to see change. We want to see more men in the church. We want to see more people to have the possibility of marriage. And so I want to leave you with that picture, and just with that verse that from Peter, as you come to him, the living stone, rejected by humans, but chosen by God and precious to him, you also, like living stones, are being built into a spiritual house to be a holy priesthood, offering spiritual sacrifices acceptable to God. And on all that we're going to be doing, all things we're going to see happening, just that reminder that it's Jesus that is the chief cornerstone. He's the one that gives us our identity, and he's the one that will enable us to do our part in making this building happen.
So suffice to say that we're going to keep doing the research, we're going to keep looking at statistics, we're going to keep looking at solutions, we're going to keep networking, we're going to keep trying to get the agenda out there, but really this will only work if we adopt this across our, our churches, our ministries, our movements, and we keep at least talking about it. And I guess we'll make some more conclusions along the way. Some ideas will work, some won't, but at least if we get into the conversation, I think eventually a difference will be made. In your packs you have a feedback form which I'd very much like you to just briefly fill in before you leave.